So how many people here still make their own stock at home?
Sometimes.
Yeah, good on you. I do occasionally, but not always. So Nicola's doing all of that for us. So explain the process with the jus.
Okay, so the jus is often described, or the base of the jus is often described as liquid gold. And the reason why it's described as liquid gold
I love that.
is because the process is long and slow and you get very little at the end. So first of all, roasting bones and then combining it with a mirepoix, which is a collection of celery, onions, carrots, cooking it in the stock.
Chopped up into even pieces, by the way.
Absolutely. And then cooked for 72 hours. Then it's strained off and then reduced. It usually takes about 6 hours to reduce down into a relatively thick or viscous liquid, which is called veal glace. And that veal glace, or in the French term glace de viande, is the basis of all my jus sauces and classic French jus sauces.
And so she left out, I think, that she roasted the bones as well. But then you've actually got to clarify the stock, by the way. So it's quite a process. If you're going to make consommé, you've got to clarify the stock. So there's a lot of different processes. But when it reduces down and it's viscous, that is from the natural collagen and protein that's come from the bones. It is not from flour. It is not from any artificial thickener or texturizer. It's all the natural product. So there's a huge amount of labour. This looks like a little tiny jar. Excuse me, it's enough for 4, by the way. But when you read here, if you've got good eyesight or glasses, so this is the rosemary jus. Ingredients: veal glace, which it says here is reduced veal stock, veal and beef bones, onion, carrot, celery, red wine, port, Malmsey. Malmsey is what we used to call Madeira. Red wine vinegar, rosemary, salt. That's all that's in there. So it's all natural. No preservatives, no artificial colourings, no artificial flavourings. So that's what you've got in there. It's shelf stable like this, but once you open it, how long would it keep in the fridge?
If you don't use it all at once, because that jar does serve 4, and if you're only just doing it for 2, let's say, you would pop it in the fridge before you opened it to set up, and then you would take a spoon, pop it into some boiling water, and that way you're sterilising the spoon because there are no preservatives in there. It's a totally natural product. And use that sterilised spoon to scoop out what you want and heat it up and pour it over your favourite meat or ravioli, and then pop it back in the fridge. And if you haven't cross-contaminated it by using an unclean spoon, should be fine for a month in the fridge.
Wow, I've just learned something. Why did you wait until 5 o'clock to tell me that?
Because you didn't ask the question
No,
before.
I know. That's a really good question, because I'm going to ask you, I'm not sure it would freeze.
You can freeze it without damaging it.
If you can freeze it without damaging it, I'll tell you what to do. What I do. Oh, sorry, do what she does. But like, there's one of me. I often freeze things in an ice cube tray, because then you've just got an ice cube. I do that with egg whites. Freeze it in an ice cube tray, then when it's frozen, take it out and put it in a plastic bag.
Absolutely.
And then you've got it, and of course you can defrost it in the microwave.
Yep. 5 seconds over your piece of steak.
Fantastic.
Kangaroo, venison.
Beautiful.
For red wine jus. Exactly.
Okay, so tell us a little bit then about the ravioli, because why did you develop the ravioli? Because it started off all about the jus.
Yeah, yes, all about the jus, and that's why the business is called La Saucière, because of the sauce, obviously. But essentially, a lot of people may have encountered jus sauces at restaurants, but not necessarily at home, and some people maybe not at all. So I had an education responsibility with the jus to let people know what it was like, and to do that, I thought, well, how can I do that and I thought, well, I could make ravioli, and because people know and understand ravioli, and then I could just pair the ravioli with the sauce. So it's a comfortable way to introduce people to the sauce. And once that they're au fait with it, then they could go on and use it on their favourite cuts of meat. So we have pairings like you've had today with the beef cheek and red wine jus. I also make a confit duck ravioli, which pairs really nicely with the orange jus. And I do also have a braised lamb ravioli, which obviously would pair with the rosemary. So yeah, just using it to introduce people so that they can comfortably become aware of the sauce and how to use it.
So I said that I'd talk about Sydney Royal competitions. So you're probably most familiar with seeing medals on wine bottles. Whenever you see a medal, read where it comes from though. If it's Sydney Royal, you know that it's up here. If it's the West Dubbo Egg and Spoon Race Barbecue Day Best Red Wine, maybe not quite so good. It might be, but maybe not quite so good. So what we do is we run a whole lot of competitions during the Easter show, but we run our out-of-show shows. We are judging aquaculture here tomorrow, but apart from that, we run these during the wine, dairy, and fine food out of the show. And how that works is that competitors enter. We have stewards and judges are all volunteers. The stewards set everything out, bring it out. The judges are sitting at tables. They do not know what they're judging. Well, they know it's ravioli, for example, but they don't know whose it is. So it's called blind judging. They're sat a distance from each other, so they can't collude, they can't talk. And then at the end of a class, so in pasta, obviously, there's lots of different classes. You know, there's spaghetti, there's tagliatelle, and then there's stuffed pastas like this. So maybe at the end of all the raviolis, the panel chair will get all the judges to sit down, and they've judged on iPad, right? So the panel chair will have a look, and if someone's judged way out of whack with everyone else, he or she will be saying, well, hang on, what's going on? But also with panels of 3, no one person can really sway the judging. So that's how we judge. So it's judge blind. Our judges are all trained. We have technical judges and we have palate judges. We have a mixture on the panel. And so then when you may win nothing, but you get feedback. They put comments on the iPad. They put comments about every product they taste, right? So if you produce a good product in this competition, so these are both from the fine food competition. Pasta is from the pasta competition, and the jus is from the specialty foods competition. So I have to say that, okay, so if you get 74 and above, 74 to 82, you're going to get a bronze medal. Now, who'd be happy with getting 74% in an exam? Absolutely. That's a bronze medal. That's still very, very good. Then you get silver, which is 82 points up to 90 points. And then gold is 90 points and above. Now, if you got 90 in an exam, you'd be very, very happy. So then we have gold, silver and bronze, as I said, but it's not first past the post. If it's a good year for agriculture, there might be lots of gold medals. Or if it's a bad year, there might be none. Our standard stays the same year in and year out. We don't compromise. So to actually get a gold medal, if you ever see a Sydney Royal gold medal, that's your guarantee of excellence, or silver, or bronze, because that is extraordinary. Then when there's a gold medal that's a lot better than the other gold medals, it can win a championship, like this. So here we are, been in business 3 years, entered for the first time last year, and the beef cheek ravioli got gold and a championship. The roast pumpkin and rosemary ravioli got gold. The rosemary jus got gold and a championship. And the red wine jus got gold. So that's pretty amazing. Do you want to bring, I know it's ready. Do you want to bring it out? It's the last one of the day. They've had the food sitting there waiting. Anyway, and once again we'll get you to eat it. So this is going to be something for you to try. Just make sure he doesn't get trodden on. Excuse me, we're about to serve some food. Sorry, and I'll just move that. Now, just while we're waiting, just tell us where we can buy your produce.
Okay, so there's a few channels that where you can purchase our produce. Online, obviously on our website at lesauciere.com.au. We also sell from some selected retailers, but we also sell through farmers markets on weekends, so Saturdays and Sundays. If you check our socials, you'll see where we are, various places. And today we are also selling from the retail store just behind the wall here. And we are selling all 6 of our medal products that we entered last year. So the 3 jus that you can see in front of you on the board, along with the 3 ravioli. So you've tried 2. There's an additional ravioli, which is the prawn and smoked salmon. So Australian prawn and smoked salmon ravioli. And they're all available behind the wall here. And we have a special just for the show.
A very special show special.
Which is purchase 2 items and receive a 3rd one free.
Now, because I'm a baby boomer and can do mental arithmetic, I'm telling you that's a 33 and a 3% discount. When did you last hear of that? So that's extraordinary. That's just at the little shop around here. This is for you to take with you, because if you scan the QR code, you can actually get an order form. You can also, or you can get the newsletter, or you can go to their socials. And so that's for you to take home. Now, I would encourage you to eat this too, because it's probably getting a little bit cool now. Now, who's talking to me this time? Ian's going to talk. Well, how about you give them the tray? So, please feel free to start eating, those of you who have it. And